take advantage of the weak. That makes me sick to my stomach.
I could say the same about bounty hunters.
Welcome, everyone, to What the Force. I'm Marie-Claire Gould, your host, and we are covering Visions Volume 3, The Bounty Hunters. And with me for all of this season is Hammy. Welcome back, Hammy.
Hi, everyone. We're hitting it hard with Visions. We're running through all these episodes.
We're going hard. So this episode will only cover, of course, the bounty hunters. If you're interested in all of the other episodes, go and listen to them, especially our overview episode in which we talked about with the duel payback. This episode starts out with a bounty hunter named Seven, who takes on a shady job with a industrialist who kind of offers her a deal that she doesn't feel like she can refuse because it's so much money.
Right. A handsome industrialist, as they say.
Handsome.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Jin Sim was his name. And she was like, damn, that handsome scoundrel, several times. Is this the closest thing we have to romance in this season? Maybe.
And romantic tragedy for sure.
Oh, yeah. And alongside her, she has Ivy A4, who has had an assassin protocol installed in him by her, and then she feels like a fair amount of regret. So we get this kind of subplot between her and her droid, in addition to the conflict / agreement with this industrialist. We also have this flashback subplot as well, back to when she was actually rescued as a child, which gave her the opportunity to live. And we kind of get this impression that people are trying to use her like feelings on the Jedi against her, but the Jedi actually allowed her to live and gave her hope.
The flashback, I don't know if it's unreliable narrator, but it opens with a lot of bodies around her, and I'm assuming her parents as well.
Yeah.
So some kind of battle has ensued, and I don't know if she blames the Jedi.
It's
the death of her family and her and the people around her, but the one Jedi gets to her, and maybe because she's a child, she's spared.
Yeah. And it definitely feels like the assassin programming of her droid is like a metaphor for her having to take on this like a very harsh lifestyle from being a child. Like they use that as a foil.
Mm-hmm.
To show each other.
Yes, that kind of life has hardened her.
Yeah.
To, even though she herself was persecuted as a child, that it now hardens her, as we see in the future when she sees kids again. She's forced to confront whether she only cares about the bounty, like getting ahead and making a future for herself.
She also worked for a different organization that is like trying to find her as well. So like there's a lot of layers. I forget what the name of the one organization was. Like there's another group that's like trying to find her, and Jin Sim actually like threatens her at one point with that. So she's got like whatever her parents were, whatever she's got going on right now, and the more immediate, like she's trying to run away from this other group that she was part of.
And I want to say all of this we gather in like 5 minutes of the story, which is awesome. I actually really love this episode because of the depth
of storytelling. Like we know everything. She's complicated, and she also has this really good relationship with her medical droid that she has imparted this assassin protocol into. Whoa. Okay.
So all of that is pretty much just the setup. So she gets the offer from the industrialist, the wealthy, handsome industrialist. And she says, okay, I'll go ahead and take care of this for you.
Yeah. And he's all like, I'm a good guy. I take care of war orphans.
Yeah. He keeps reiterating when she's in the office, how generous he is, how benevolent he is.
Yeah.
He's the benefactor that's helping all these people during wartime. So we see a servant girl that comes in to bring tea in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She brings in tea, and at first it seems like, oh, okay, he's providing for her, he's giving her shelter and food and all of that. But then Seven notices that she's got a collar on.
Yeah, and he's like, that's to monitor her health. Okay, dude.
Look away. Nothing to
he's
see here.
he's so bad. So this is where we take on this idea that capitalism, of course, is related to consumption and also the House of Atreus, especially in more modern storytelling. And the children are actually, we find out, slaves. And he has sent her not after people who want to harm his organization. They do, but these are the family members of these children that have been taken as slaves.
Yes, as she's walking out of his office, she goes ahead and agrees to his terms. And she sees through a window that it's all these children that are putting things together. They're building
Yeah.
things together, and then it's kids. And then she doesn't realize until she goes and actually finds the insurgents like really quickly.
Oh yeah, she's very good. Like she finds them and then they convince her like actually these are our like siblings and our family members. And actually he's kind of gross. He wants matched sets of like me and my sister, which is like he's a gross dude.
Yes, it's
He comes off
it's
as
really
gross.
bad.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very much sleazy and awful. But I really liked it that even during that, when she's confronted with this, Seven takes time to struggle with that. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
shouldn't listen to, like, I'm not supposed to be listening to my bounty. Like, that's like the first rule, I guess, of bounty hunters is don't
Yeah.
listen to who you just captured, because everyone's got a sob story, right? She does listen to them. Even Ivy A4 tells her not to, right?
Yeah.
To listen to them. And at that point, Ivy A4 cuts and runs, right?
Yeah, and he finds a secret recording because he's been mad at her because she made promises to take care of this assassin protocol and fix him basically. But he finds that she was always planning to do it. It was just costing a lot of money, and so she's been doing these bounties to help him.
Oh,
So
So,
good. Efficiency of
yes.
storytelling.
Exactly. So so they Seven and the insurgents who are now in their handcuffs go
Yeah.
to Jinsim's office, and it seems like she's going to turn them in to him.
Yeah, but actually it's all ruse and they're all working together, and they rescue everybody and take out Jinsim, and actually Ivy A4 comes back to save the day. He ends up getting sacrificed as his medical droid, but ends up coming back as the assassin droid, but that's okay because he has all the memories from before, and he's actually
Yes.
now like this like combined version, much like Seven is.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh my God, so great.
One thing that she says during all of this this entire escapade is what does the right thing even mean? And it harkens back to her flashback with the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I really like that aspect of it. As we talked about in the very first episode, one of the big things in Star Wars, even if you're not part of the Jedi or Force sensitive, is that you're struggling with your role in the world, in a world that's filled with war and choices. This is a bounty hunter, and is she supposed to look away when there's child labor because she's looking
Yeah.
for for her future? She's looking to just live and survive in this world.
Because we can't sacrifice the whole future of the society
Right.
just for your own future.
Exactly. The
That's the key. Yeah.
symbolism of the kids. Yes.
Yeah. And that's the House of Atreus, like consumptive idea that you cannot sacrifice the future for your own wants. That's the light side and the dark side playing out
Mhm.
in a non-Jedi story.
Yes, and I liked that Jinsim calls her out when in their final fight.
Yeah.
He says that, oh, you're doing the same thing I am. Bounty hunters and child labor. We're all exploiting the weak.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And so she's like, no, I'm making a different decision. This is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
What I also love symbolically is, of course, 7 is the number of change in many folklores and mythology. Like you often are gone for 7 years before you transform, or you're under a curse for 7 years. And so it's like a nice little, like, beautiful symbolic idea that her name is 7.
Yes, it's my favorite number. So
It definitely was like so to the point, so on the nose, literally using child slave labor, children that looked like the younger versions of all of these insurgents that are trying to protect them. Like,
Mhm.
what is it George Lucas said? Like, subtext is for the weak. Like,
Yes.
like it definitely felt like they were like hitting us over the head with these themes. Especially that capitalism is bad.
Yes, I know, which I didn't mind at all. I don't mind it when it's in the short form. You kind of need to. Like, you kind of need to use every minute to your advantage when you're doing a short like this. And so I really appreciated it. And to complement the entirety of Visions, I appreciate that they do that with most of the episodes. That they're not shying away from the dark sides of Star Wars. You know, it could just be like, oh, we're just bounty hunters on a fight, but there seems to always be another layer to things with these episodes, and I really, really appreciate that. It's not just a one-off adventure story kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. This really felt like a solid entry into the Visions stories, and I'm really happy it exists. I really like 7. I really like IVA4. I love where they end up, which is sort of like accepting the fact that they have had these darker pasts. Like, that's all the symbolism of him, like, only having the assassin protocol at the end. Like, that's
Correct.
the symbolism of it, is that they've accepted their darkness to the major themes that we talked about in the first episode that we talked about. Like, it nails it so well.
Yes, this was one of my favorite episodes of all
Absolutely.
of the entire series. Yep.
Yeah, which is surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that with the Bounty Hunters title.
No. I literally, no offense to all the Bounty Hunter fans out there who are Star Wars fans, but the name actually made me think that I was not going to like it, because we've seen some Bounty Hunter plots in Clone Wars and other areas, and they're just never my favorite. No offense.
Well, I mean, Mandalorian gave us an opportunity to dig deeper into the bounty hunters in general, and it's done like a really good job of that to give them more depth. But yeah, I don't know, they tend to fulfill this very flat idea of especially masculinity that isn't
That's what I was going to
incredibly
say.
appealing to me in most stories. Where it becomes appealing is when there's conflict and transformation and struggle at the center of their stories. Transformation, especially, that's what I need.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that, because a lot of times, like you said, they're flat, sometimes flat characters. And I think there are some people who enjoy that, who want the cold-hearted, takes no prisoners. Okay, what do I care? I'm just out here on my own, lone wolf kind of thing. But that's not what we think Star Wars is about. That you're not a lone wolf. The lone wolf, in fact, is very much part of the entire pack.
Yeah, and only by coming together as the community is everyone actually healed and protected and restored. And that is that's another thing that we've definitely noticed in a lot of these stories too, is like the community coming together.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this one rocked, I gotta say. I loved the droid. I loved 7. I would welcome them back anytime.
Yes, I can't wait for another adventure with them.
All right, we're gonna move on to Yuko's Treasure next. Hammy, where can people find you if they're looking for you online?
On Twitter, I'm at Balance Padawan, and on Blue Sky, I'm Hamsa, HAMSA.
Take care, everyone, and cheers. Thank you for listening to What the Force. I'm Marie-Claire Gould, your host. Our orchestral music is by Christy Carew for What the Force. You can support the show directly on Patreon at patreon.com/whattheforce. We would like to thank all our patrons, especially those who love and are obsessed with What the Force: Christian R., Adrian, Sarah Joy, Scott, John, In Wild Space, Minky Moo, Derek C., How Rude, Christian Luca, Carly Ann, and Scott C. Support the show by wearing the Force with our merch. Like and subscribe on YouTube, or leave a 5-star review on iTunes or other pod apps. It helps people find the show. You can connect with us on Blue Sky at WT Force, What the Force Podcast on Facebook, or on our website at whattheforce.ca, or our Discord. Links are in the liner notes. Feel free to reach out and start a conversation. Cheers.